Hello, we are Within the Wild Adventure Company and Tutka Bay Lodge, a virtuoso property in South Central Alaska. We pride ourselves on creating customizable, bespoke adventures here in Alaska. Tutka Bay Lodge is an award-winning wilderness retreat that offers guests an immersive and all-inclusive Alaskan experience. The lodge is nestled adjacent to a stunning old-growth forest and sits beside the rugged Tutka Bay Fjord, inviting those that seek a genuine Alaska-centric adventure. As you know, Alaska is a part of the United States and North America. Guests visiting us will fly through the city of Anchorage and Ted Stevens International Airport, just over 3 hours from Seattle. Tutka Bay is located on the Kenai Peninsula in the south central portion of this enormous state. It is just outside the quaint town of Homer, Alaska, on the Pacific Ocean and specifically Ketchimek Bay. Guests may arrive to us by float plane charter directly from Anchorage, a distance of about 1 hour. They can also fly commercially to the town of Homer, which is about a 45-minute flight on your traditional mid-sized jet, and then water taxi to the lodge, which is about a 25-minute boat ride from Homer. Just a side note for those that may be interested, the Homer Airport does accommodate private jets. Within the Wild and Tutka Bay Lodge were founded by Kirsten and Carl Dixon, former medical professionals who decided to move into the backcountry 40 years ago to build their own cabins and cook for visitors. Since then, they have owned and operated several lodges throughout the wilderness of Alaska. Our mission at Within the Wild is to provide guests with the opportunity to immerse themselves in the natural world, to create lifetime memories with unique and extraordinary adventures, and to bring people and families together. These are just some of the main reasons that guests choose to stay within the wild. Our people are at the forefront of our business. The family-owned and operated company takes pride in its returning seasonal employees year after year, offering fair wages and educational opportunities, and overall is simply a cool place to live and work. Our cuisine is probably one of the most raved about aspects of each guest stay. With 4 or 5 chefs on the property at all times, we take great pride in our food and offer Michelin-level gourmet cuisine with an Alaskan flair, of course. The kitchen is overseen by mother-daughter team, Kirsten and Mandy. Both are highly trained chefs who prefer to source foods locally, whether from area farms or foraged straight from the property itself or a high-tunnel greenhouse beside the main lodge. They have written several cookbooks, including the latest, Living Within the Wild. Wellness is an important aspect of each guest stay since we reside so close to the natural world. Our wellness director makes sure each guest experiences some sort of wellness-oriented activities during their stay, whether that's sound bathing, forest meditation, yoga sessions, or simply a leisurely walk in the woods and on the beach to soak in the freshest air. Sustainability is another top priority at Tutka Bay, being surrounded by so much untouched wilderness. Within the Wild offsets carbon from both employee and guest travel. We emphasize sustainable practices in the kitchen, housekeeping, and all aspects of lodge life. In 2022, we began a 501c3 nonprofit organization called Be the Wild Stewardship Project, where we raise funds to purchase land throughout Alaska to reduce human impact and to keep these pristine areas wild. We recognize the enrichment we receive by living close to the natural world, and we desire the same for future generations. Being side by side with Mother Nature is a luxury we ensure is a part of each guest's stay. Tutka Bay is a summer property here in Alaska. We are open from early May through the end of September, prime time for visiting Alaska with long daylight hours that result in late sunsets, active wildlife, blooming greenery and wildflowers, and happy people. The lodge's strategic location at the mouth of Tutka Bay provides easy access to tide pool estuaries and marine life. The mountains truly meet the sea here, with rocky coastlines and lush forests expanding down to the ocean's edge. Guests can hike the unique trail system through our 30-acre forest. They can breathe in the fresh ocean air and witness miraculous wildlife in the sky, on the land and sea, and even below. From our expansive oceanside deck, they will truly be immersed in a transformative experience here at Tutka Bay Lodge. Tutka Bay is comprised of just 5 guest cabins, uniquely appointed and comfortably accommodated to make sure guests feel at home at the lodge with rustic luxuries of the wilderness in Alaska. There are 1-bedroom cabins with single bathroom and 2 stories. The lofted areas of these cabins often work well to accommodate children when families are traveling. We also have a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom cabin best suited for families or couples traveling together. Each cabin has a private deck, living area, and wet bar, including a fridge often stocked with local beers, wines, sodas, and other goodies. Each night, the lodge team adorns the guest cabins with small gifts at turn-down service, helping to immerse them more fully in Alaskan hospitality. From the large central deck, guests embark by kayak, boat, helicopter, or seaplane immediately to be captivated by the surrounding nature. The lodge is our base for breathtaking out-camp adventures, such as brown bear viewing on the Katmai coast. This adventure involves flying by small plane to a remote beach in the area of Katmai National Park or Lake Clark National Park. After a scenic flight over Cook Inlet, they will land and walk amongst these coastal brown bears for 3 to 4 hours, witnessing these magnificent animals go about their natural behaviors. such as foraging in sedgegrass, clamming, or fishing the streams for salmon. The destination varies each day, going to where the bears have been most frequently. Guests can also enjoy a wildlife cruise straight from the lodge itself. They'll search for whales like humpback, minke, orcas, and other animals like sea lions, sea otters, seals, and of course, a plethora of seabirds, including puffins, that return each summer. They can visit waterfalls, view distant volcanoes, and stop by an oyster farm. Another popular way to explore the area will be by air via helicopter. This method allows us to visit wilderness areas off the beaten track, like expansive glaciers to trek over the ancient blue ice and crevasses. The helicopter opens up opportunities to visit outlying areas not frequented by others. It provides further chances for customization and meeting each guest's desire. We can visit a unique mountain ridgeline or a faraway beach, or even find a stream to cast a line for fly fishing. The flight seeing alone in this area offers some of the most jaw-dropping views. Deep-sea fishing is another popular activity among guests. Homer is considered the halibut capital of the world, so guests can head out on the ocean to try catch their limit of halibut, salmon, rockfish, and cod, amongst other fish species in the area. They can send their catch back with the boat captain for fish processing to ship it home, or they can take it back to the lodge for the chef to prepare that evening for the freshest cooked dinner. Of course, there are plentiful activities to keep everyone busy while on the property. Several hiking trails at the lodge itself will take guests into the fairy-like forest adjacent to the lodge, or they can set off the property to multiple different trails accessible by boat. Hikes vary from short, flat, easy to 3,000-foot elevation gains, moderate to difficult levels. Simple but scenic one-hour hikes to full-day adventures, suitable for any visitor's activity level. The chef team always packs a tasty to-go lunch to enjoy in the field. Kayaking throughout Tutka Bay and Ketchimek Bay offers plenty of opportunities to view the forest meeting the sea, snow-capped mountains in the distance, and of course, marine wildlife. Witnessing the world from the ocean's surface is always a captivating adventure. This area is home to some of the largest tidal fluctuations in the world, which means when low tide occurs and the water is out, there is a multitude of spectacular sea creatures to be explored, like sea stars, crustaceans, and anemones. During low tide, guests can join a naturalist guide down by our cove to learn about the mysterious and active world beneath the water's surface. Again, with such great emphasis on food and gastronomy at Tutka Bay, culinary tours, foraging, and cooking classes with the lodge chefs are easily some of the most popular afternoon activities for Tutka Bay guests. Similarly, guests can head over to the small, quaint seaside towns of Slodovia, Halibut Cove, or Helmer to explore art galleries, cafes, museums, breweries, or whatever a guest may desire. Packages are all-inclusive with meals, accommodations, 2 of those out-camp excursions, guided lodge-based activities, and wellness-centered activities. We have a 3-night stay minimum, but the most popular package, and what we recommend, is a 4-night stay so that guests have the best chance of enjoying the most out of what Tutka Bay Lodge has to offer. We are happy to cater to guests of all sorts, from couples and honeymoons to families with small children, teenagers, and the oldest generations too. We can create an itinerary suited to anyone, and that includes any activity level accommodating the most adventurous guest, as well as the sit back and relax on the deck type, and anything in between. We are happy to accommodate groups of up to 12 to 20 guests, depending on each group's dynamics. We offer exclusive buyout opportunities for private parties and for those traveling as a retreat, as a multi-generational family group, or as a small corporate incentive visit. Some new items for 2024. This includes those revamped helicopter excursions, allowing us to take guests to explore remote and rarely accessed locations. Having a Robinson R-44 helicopter on the property really opens up opportunities for new adventures. We will now be offering cold water snorkeling at our nearby Be the Wild Stewardship Project land on Hesketh Island. Guests will don dry suits and snorkel gear to explore wild kelp beds and the sea life below. Guests can e-bike the nearly flat and scenic Homer Spit, or for the more adventurous, bike epic mountain trails. And finally, pack rafting. We now have pack rafts that allow us to hike to remote waters, such as a glacially fed lake dotted with icebergs, or small lakes fed by waterfalls near the lodge. The Dixon family recently added a farm to their portfolio. Danish Daughter Farm, located on the Homer hillside, is home to 7,000 peony plants that bloom in August. Here we will offer private lunches and farm tours for lodge guests. La Baleen Cafe is Mandy Dixon's small cafe on the Homer Spit, where we often take guests to enjoy a taste of Alaskan comfort food and local life before their tours. La Baleen was just recently nominated as a James Beard Foundation semifinalist for Outstanding Hospitality. Again, we pride ourselves on offering fully customized adventures and creating once-in-a-lifetime memories. Alaska is a vast and wild place, rich in abundance of natural resources, wildlife, and adventure opportunities. We love to share this wild place with our guests and also hope to illuminate threats to our wild species and places. We appreciate the opportunity to work with travel professionals like you, and we hope to host your clients as one of our guests here in Alaska soon. Please don't hesitate to reach out with any questions about Tutka Bay Lodge or Alaska in general. We are more than happy to help. We can be reached by phone or email to check availability for this year or next. Together, we can work on reservations and logistics to plan a custom adventure-filled itinerary throughout Alaska.